back.
Final game for the Aggies during a 5-game homestand, the second game in less than 48 hours. Bulldogs in the blue, the Aggies in the home white. Shimanga and Baccio will tip it up, and Christian Cook will handle. Cook averaging 19.5 points per game in his previous 6. He was the high scorer on Thursday with 25. Filipovic also had a season-high 20. Cook on the curl, free throw line jumper, too heavy, collected by Caden Cooper, the transfer from Oklahoma.
And I think we can expect to see more of that from Christian Cook when they're going to be guarded skin to skin coming off those screens, and I think Cook will start curling more as the year goes on.
Pick and roll game is big. Newman handles the point. Cook defends him. Cook defended Lamar Wilkerson at a high level on Thursday. Under 10 to shoot for Amari Abram. Abram on the arc for Newman with 1 to shoot. Misses the 3. Baccio the offensive rebound. Louisiana Tech on Thursday had a shot clock violation on their first offensive possession against UTEP. Almost had one here today as well. Under 10 to shoot again. Newman kicks it in the corner for Devin Reed, the 6'8 guard, met by Shimanga, and he's bailed out with 1 left on the timer. So 2 really good stints on defense, but Louisiana Tech's going to get some free throws.
That's right, and Aggies are going to have to get the ball off the defensive board. If they give Louisiana Tech second shots, it's not going to go well.
This will be only the 5th attempted free throw the entire year for Devin Reed, transfer from Louisville. He was in the Bulldogs program a year ago as well. Second year at La Tech for Reed. 62% from the stripe a year ago. He is 4 out of 5 this year.
And he was preseason newcomer of the year, wasn't he?
Went to high school at Oak Hill Academy. Makes both. 70-60 was the final score in that Bulldogs game Thursday, so they only scored 60 points. They committed a season-high 20 turnovers in that game. They only forced 3. They had a -17 turnover margin 2 days ago. There's Zodie Jackson who runs the point. Jackson shoots it over Baccio, one of the best shot blockers around the country.
And remember, Zodie Jackson struggled offensively last game, but he made a driving sort of floater at a crucial time for the Aggies on Thursday night.
Jackson on Thursday did not score a point until 10 minutes left in the game. Scores much earlier today. Abram is bumped, no call. On the arc for Baccio. Looking for his point guard Newman. Finds him. 7 to shoot. Late in the shot clock again. Pass is whipped in the near corner for Cooper, who buries the 3. Caden Cooper, 35%. Bulldogs shoot 36% from deep as a squad this year. La Tech 9 out of 31 from 3 at UTEP on Thursday. Jumper is short for Bostic. Collected again by Cooper. The ball will be in the hands of Newman a lot. A lot of ball screens from Baccio. We'll see how the Aggies defend that all day. Exchanges for Abram. Back to Baccio. Shimanga guards him. 6'11 versus a 7-footer. Newman. 3 to shoot for Abram. Does he know it? Pushes off on Jackson. Gets a shot away. High clearance by Cook. Cook trying to find a crease to the rim, and he lays it in right around Baccio.
You know, he's a much better leaper than you think. A guy who's such a good shooter. He can really get off the floor when he wants to.
Russ, the Aggie guard's going right after Baccio, who is 5th in the country in blocks this year.
And it's not just that, Adam. He averages 2 fouls a game. He's never in foul trouble. He's a very smart player. He knows when to jump, when to stay down on his stay down on the ground. He's a really shrewd player around the basket.
Baccio picks it up. Cook trying to grab it. Another late possession for La Tech as far as the shot clock goes. And it's an ill-advised jumper there by Newman that misfires. He had to shoot one because the timer was running down. Jackson gets the defender in the air. Kick out to the corner. Bostic attacks. And he traveled with it.
Well, I thought that was the right call. It was a little bit late, but I thought that was the correct call.
John Johnson, Roderick Dixon, and Brent Dugas, our three-man crew.
Well, what do you think, Adam?
I think it's the right call,
Yeah.
but as you said, the whistle came a little bit late.
Yeah.
1 point lead with possession for La Tech. As we approach the under 16 media, Abram out of the corner. Missed it short. Offensive rebound for Will Allen. And a foul's going to be called. The only game on opening night around Conference USA that was not decided by 4 points or less was the 10-point loss for Louisiana Tech at UTEP. Bulldogs, the preseason favorite in Conference USA. They had a really good non-conference year, going 11-2. Here is Abram. Al Green just checked in off the bench for the Bulldogs. Abram, mid-range jumper. Three-point advantage for the Bulldogs.
Boy, tough shot by Abram.
The Aggies brought in Nate Chimanga for his older brother Emmanuel right before that media timeout. Jackson speeds and kicks. Bostic doesn't shoot a ton of threes. He's only attempted 30 for the year. Backdoor to Jackson, the right idea. Jackson thought he was held, and it's last touch by him. First action coming up for Carpenter, who comes in for Filipovic. Bacho's on the bench for La Tech right now, so Aggies need to find a way to take advantage with the best post player in Conference USA currently on the bench. Newman, Ree, Green, Will Allen, and Abram on the floor on offense for La Tech. First touch for Green. Inside, can't finish. No foul called. Allen can't stick it back in. Bostic collects. Physical down low. Ball screen, Carpenter. Filipovic back on the floor. So initially it was him going off, but he ended up staying on with Carpenter. To shoot. Here's Cook. Will isolate with Newman. Now he gets a ball screen from Carpenter. Cook on the pull-up. That's a tough shot. He missed it short. Filipovic, the offensive rebound, sandwiched in between three Bulldogs. And he will get free throws. He was 7 of 8 from the stripe on Thursday.
Well, that might have been 3 Bulldogs, but Filipovic is a pit bull when it comes to getting the ball in the crowd. Watch him come up with this amongst 3 Louisiana Tech players.
He was a huge part of that league opening win against Sam Houston. Did a lot of things well. And he's starting to make his free throws. That percentage of 67% continues to rise at the free throw line for Filipovic. Bostic and Jackson going off. Pickens and Harris coming in for the first time. Aggies made their free throws in their most recent game. 83% attempted, 24 of them. 20 out of 24. Lead down to 1 for the Bulldogs. A launch by Abram, rattles in the 3. His first make on his 3rd try.
Well, that's just too easy. Just a single pass and a 3-point shot. The Aggies are going to have to do a lot. I can see the expression on Jason Hooten's face. He didn't like that any better than I did.
Team high 32 made threes now for Abram, former high school 4-star. Filipovic working on Allen, shoots it over him on the fade.
It was actually the last thing he wanted to do. He kept looking to pass, but no one was open.
Team high 4 for Filipovic, season high 20 2 days ago. Tough assignment for Pickens, guarding Newman. Doesn't shoot a lot of threes. Good box out by Carpenter. Allen still tipped it. And of course, Filipovic comes up with it. Cook launches in transition. Bingo!
Wow, and beautiful pass by Gabe Pickens.
Pickens coming off a game in which he had 4 helpers in just 8 minutes off the bench. Like Russ said, a quality find, finding Cook in transition. Post touch, Will Allen couldn't catch it. First Aggie lead today, and now they have possession.
Yeah, I thought that Gabe Pickens' game on Thursday night was his best of the year, even though it was just 8 minutes. To get 4 assists in 8 minutes, he got the intentional foul, which was a bad one, but he played terrific, I thought. And this will be a great test for him. Sean Newman's one of the best point guards in the country.
Pickens goes away from the screen. Filipovic going to work on Bacho. He attacks the big man, missed it. Carpenter the offensive rebound, and one for Carpenter.
Wow, Aggies are inspired how hesitant they were against Saco the other night. They're not nearly as hesitant as they were on Thursday night.
That was foul number 2 on Devin Reeves, so he takes a seat. It's an 8-0 Aggie run. In Bacho, he blocks 2.5 shots per game, Russ, but he alters probably 3 or 4. I mean, he alters shots in addition to the blocks that actually count in the stat category.
Well, that might have been a point of emphasis, is don't play hesitant, as we see the Bulldogs with an unforced turnover there.
Remember, they're coming off 20 against UTEP. Now, UTEP leads the country in forced turnovers, so they force 20 pretty often, but it was a -17 turnover margin for Louisiana Tech, and that was a big reason why they lost by 10 on Thursday night in El Paso. Pickens, Carpenter, over Bacho. Missed it short, pretty good look. Three turnovers in the previous minute 40 for La Tech. Pickens forces another. Bostic running the floor, has Carpenter to his left to lob it for him. Alley-oop for Carpenter.
And that's Gabe Pickens again, Adam. He seems to have crossed the bridge, Gabe Pickens. He's a much more confident player in this last couple weeks than he was early in the year.
Pickens with his eyes locked in on the ball handler, Newman. Abram will launch again. A lot of three-point tries for him. Long rebound, tracked down by Cook. Cook bumped by Green, no call. The officials doing a really good job of letting them play right now. Carpenter is overthrown. It's the right idea. Pickens just couldn't find him on the pick and the pop.
So I imagine.
Yes. And right now, Bacho has not attempted a field goal. Carpenter defends him in the paint. There's a lot of contact on that screen. It was Bostic trying to plow through it. And Bostic gets called for the personal. What are the Aggies doing well right now to limit Bacho to 0 field goal attempts, Russ?
Well, I think it's just good, solid team defense. They're helping inside and collapsing onto Bacho, but also pressuring the ball. It's one thing to guard Bacho well, but if you let your man pass the ball easily inside, that doesn't help.
Second foul on Bostic, so Harris comes in for him. Joe Golding and UTEP, last time out, did a pretty good job against Bacho on defense as well. 3 is short for Green. Cooper trying to grab the board, last touch by him.
When Caden Cooper can really rebound the ball, as we talked about before the broadcast, Adam, he's really active and bouncy around the basket.
La Tech hasn't scored in over 3 minutes. The Aggies are on a 10-0 run. This is their biggest lead today. They're running Cook off a couple of screens. 2 guys popping out. Swing it for Harris, 10 to shoot. Cook, mid-range over Newman. Put a little more arch on that one. Filipovic tapped it around a couple of times, and Bacho picks up his second rebound. Transition 3 for Cooper, a brick. Nobody's guarding Filipovic in the near corner. Jackson finds him, short on the 3. Leaking out is Abram, he catches, working Art Jackson and Cook. Finger roll short. Grab by Carpenter. The scoreless drought continues for the Bulldogs. Let's see if Cook will launch. No rebounder, so he chooses not to. Carpenter will launch. Yes, sir.
And there's that quick release.
Russ, how much of this right now is the Aggie defense?
Well, I think all of it is the Aggie defense. They've really shut down Bacho. They've limited Sean Newman. He has 2 assists, but they've done a good job of controlling him.
Post entry deflected by Carpenter, stolen Jackson. Carpenter again looking for 2 in a row. Missed it short. Offensive rebound. Filipovic, and a foul going up. The tip will not count. Filipovic will get free throws.
But look how active Robert Carpenter is, coming from 30 feet away. He shot that 3 and then nearly tipped it in.
Russ, he just outworks everybody.
Yeah, and Filipovic, but Carpenter with great effort also. He'd shot the three, and seconds later he nearly tips it in.
I wouldn't call Filipovic undersized, but he's only 6'7". It's not like you're looking at a 6'9", 6'10" forward right here. But he just wants the ball more. He's making his free throws, 3 out of 3 today. 10 out of 11 for the week. First action this week for Carl Scherenfant, who did not play Thursday. He's still battling for minutes. First action for Louisiana Tech guard Jordan Crawford, number 20 in blue, who comes in for the first time. Double figure advantage. It is 11.
And Adam, for years, this was a brutal road trip in the preseason. Teams coming to El Paso and then New Mexico State. But now it's the dual difficult places to play in league season. It used to be in November and December.
Scoreless drought over 5 minutes. This is a 15-0 run. Cooper too strong. Filipovic sprints ahead. He could do that as well. He brings the Aggies out of the backcourt. The Aggies trying to extend their 11-point first half lead, just over 10 minutes in. Staying patient on this trip. Jackson, ball screen, Carpenter. Jackson mid-range on the pull-up. Good decision.
Yeah, really smart decision. Every now and then, Zaudy will take it inside and get fouled, but I think in that case, that's right. And in this case, the Aggies have held them to 10 points in 11 minutes.
Preston Laird also does a really good job with those scouts. Bacho can't catch, almost out of bounds, and Crawford tracks it down to the sideline. Crawford lost it, and a foul is called, I think, reaching in on Harris. Yeah, it's on Jaden Harris, his first personal. Bacho on the catch, flips it for Newman. Bacho will try to repost. Really looking for the ball, and now he'll set a ball screen to try to get Newman free. Newman, the pump fake, floats it over Carpenter.
Smart play by Sean Newman.
Snaps a scoreless drought of just under 6 minutes. It was a 17-0 Aggie run. This one is far from over. Carpenter gets another great look. He won't miss that one very often.
Boy, and that's a lot of pressure on 6'11" Daniel Bacho to get out and cover that up.
You blink and Carpenter has 11. 2 out of 3 from the field. 4 out of 6 from the field. 2 out of 3 from 3, I should say. 4 out of 6 from the field. Lead up to 14. Cooper spinning on Filipovic. Back on the arc for Crawford. The Ruston, Louisiana native. Can't finger roll it in. Filipovic had it roll off his leg.
Team effort.
Aggies have scored 10 points off Bulldog turnovers. Tough catch for Crawford. Bulldogs have committed 5 turnovers in the previous 7 minutes. Aggies on a 20-2 scoring run. Another turnover. Scherenfant picks the pocket of Abram. Scherenfant slips and a foul is called on Abram. That's the 4th on the Bulldogs.
Well, Scherenfant got a break there because I thought he slipped sort of on his own. He might have got bumped out. Let's take a look.
A little bit of contact, got tangled up as well. That is where Scherenfant is going to make his mark on defense right now, and that's what he does really well.
Yeah, he's long-armed and smart defensively. He went a little too far maybe on that one.
Corner 3, Harris, bullseye.
By the way, Adam, the leading scorer, or leading percentage three-point shooter for the Aggies is Jaden Harris, who doesn't shoot near as many as Christian Cook, but he's judicious about it. He has good shot selection, and he nailed that one.
Nearly another turnover. They call it a 2-pointer for now for Harris. They probably will check that, though. Seemed like it was close. Another rebound for Carpenter, his 5th. Transition, Cook. Missed it short. Not a bad idea, though.
No, that's like a layup for him.
Newman works it into the forecourt. Scherenfant defends on the switch. Carl has some size on Newman. Post lob for Bacho. Really no double team. The Aggies will try to handle him with just Carpenter. The first shot attempt, and it falls in for Baccio.
Bacio's grimacing a little bit. I wonder if he's hurt and we just don't know it, Adam. Tech in a zone for the first time, 2-3 zone.
Both teams are feeling it after Thursday. Both teams had physical games, quick turnaround with the early start. Baseline, Sharon Font, kicked by Baccio. Baccio averages 19 a game, which is second best in Conference USA. Preseason League Player of the Year. Was the newcomer of the year a year ago in Conference USA. Entry for Cook. Crawford way late. That is a broken down, missed assignment on the inbound for the Bulldogs.
Well, Tech, frankly, Adam, this is a very well-coached Tech team, and they've been very good up till this road trip, but they look a little leg weary here, and I wonder if it's the altitude and the travel have gotten to the Bulldogs here.
The turnaround is tough on both, but especially tough on La Tech. Elkington just came in. He misses from 3. Rebound number 6 for Carpenter.
That's Carpenter going over the NBA prospect, Baccio, there.
Yeah, you add in the travel for La Tech on Wednesday, and that's a key factor in this. The back end of 2 games in conference play can be really tough. Spin move Jackson, push out Carpenter. Another 3. Carpenter with his third made 3.
And Elkington was completely draped on Carpenter on that one. He played it pretty well. It's just that Carpenter's red hot.
A.J. Bates just came in, freshman from Houston. Small lineup for La Tech. Elkington shoots a lot of 3s when he's in. Not shy one bit. He missed earlier, makes that one.
And Elkington is a Division II transfer from St. Edwards. Same conference as Western New Mexico, who the Aggies played earlier in the year. And this is getting to be a common trend in Division I to take a Division II transfer who plays well in Division II.
Yeah, the really tough Lone Star Conference. Turnaround fade away. Harris spins in. Timeout, Telvin Hester.
And Adam, Baccio's not in foul trouble, but he's only played 10 minutes in this, Evan. I wonder if maybe he's nursing a cold or the flu or something.
Jordan Crawford swings it. Caden Cooper, the transfer from Oklahoma. Dribble drive Crawford on the arc for the freshman Bates. A lot of possessions have been late in the shot clock for La Tech. Elkington, the hook no good. Another rebound for Carpenter.
Carpenter's been so active.
To the rim is Filipovic. Skip out, Jackson, extra pass. Harris, he'll launch. Harris fell down, rebound jarred loose and picked up by Bates.
Well, you don't see that happen often. Filipovic had his hands on the ball and then couldn't control it. Boy, he usually gets it, clamps down on it.
Baccio on the bench again for the Bulldogs. Ball screen from Elkington. Watch out, he can shoot it from 3. Puts it on the deck against Carpenter. A low pass caught by Cooper. Newman has to rush a shot up. Leans into Jackson. Shot clock violation.
So much smaller team. Elkington, really the only bigger guy for Tech right now.
2 high post set. Cook pops out. Baseline for Carpenter. Skips for Harris. Jackson works to the rim. Extra pass to Filipovic. Barely grazed the rim. Newman fires it back on the arc to Caden Cooper. His floater's too strong. Filipovic on the weak side. That's his 5th rebound. 5 rebounds for Carpenter. The Aggies a +2 rebound margin. Harris brushes off the screen, the kick out, Jackson misses the 3 for the sideline. Crawford does a really good job and then fires it for Newman. Race ahead by Carpenter, not a great pass. 3 by Bates, no good. The tip in though for Elkington. So 5 off the bench for Elkington, who only averages
pick to win the league. And they're back in the 2-3 zone.
Aggies haven't scored in 2.5 minutes. New Mexico State 5 out of 11 from 3. Mid post Shamanga. On the arc for Jackson. 6 made triples.
Nice pass by Emmanuel Shimanga.
Biggest lead today, it's 20. The Aggies make 8 threes per game. They're almost there in half one. 90 seconds left. Flip for Newman. Under 10 to shoot again. We've said that all day for La Tech. Newman speeds and kicks around the horn. Abram from the wing. He's way short. Newman grabs the offensive rebound. Elkinton was open. Newman trying to find him. Slapped away by Zardy Jackson defensively.
Well, this is how the Aggies got off to a little bit of a slow start by giving up second shots, and they need to make sure that the Bulldogs aren't on the offensive board very often.
Officials letting the players play for the most part. Only 4 team fouls are on each side. It's been a well-officiated first half. Newman will trigger in. Looking for Abram. Abram couldn't get open. Crawford does. Almost a 5-second call. 10 to shoot. Newman will fire a 3. Rattles off. Cleared Shimanga.
Boy, the Bulldogs just cannot get a break. I thought that was in.
Louisiana Tech, 3 out of 17 from 3. Cross court, opposite corner. Cook wide open. Bingo!
Well, if they're going to leave Christian Cook open, it's going to be a long afternoon for Louisiana Tech. I mean, he measured that. He almost stuck his finger in his mouth to check the wind, to hold his finger up to see if there was any wind blowing. He had plenty of time there.
25 combined for Cook and Carpenter. Carpenter with 14, Cook with 11. Exchange to Crawford. Crawford with 10 to shoot. Spins hard. Cook can't finish. Shimanga was trying to box out at Elkinton, and Shimanga gets called for pulling him. That is only the 5th team foul, so no free throws for La Tech. It's going to be a baseline inbound.
And pretty, even with the Aggies on a good roll there, Carpenter was on the bench, and here comes Carpenter again, a fresh Robert Carpenter. That's an awful lot of time there for Christian Cook to measure that.
Landren Blocker comes in for La Tech, freshman out of Little Rock, Arkansas, number 7 in blue. Inbound pass goes to Abram, a contested 3, too strong, and a foul is called on the rebound. And it goes on Blocker, the freshman who just came in. So now New Mexico State up 23, can have the final shot in the half with the shot clock off.
Well, let's see if Tech is back to man here.
Jackson walks it out of the backcourt, joined by Carpenter, Filipovic, Harris, and Cook. Likely going to Carpenter or Cook. Jackson picks up his dribble, backdoor, Filipovic found a crease.
Wow, just perfect execution by the Aggies. 5 minutes of the second half were the most important.
La Tech in the blue, they will start with the basketball. 3 is way off for Devin Reed. 3 out of 19 from deep for the Bulldogs.
And Reed played sparingly in the first half.
Spin by Filipovic. Bostic scoreless in the first half. He's too strong on his 3. Reed was hampered by those 2 personals, so didn't play really the final 9 or 10 minutes of that first half. Step back for Newman. Only 4 points for Newman. He's had to shoot it a little more today. That was his 8th field goal attempt.
Yeah, and I think he's been frustrated.
And for the most part, it's been Cook defending Newman. And Cook, for the most part, shut down Wilkerson of Sam Houston Thursday. Filipovic leans in, draws a foul. The officials really let them play in the first half. It had a good rhythm to the game. There weren't a lot of fouls called. Neither team was in the bonus in the first half.
Well, when Filipovic gets the ball this close, well, he's going to get to the foul line. He's got thick shoulders, and he's smart, and his timing is very good. He never panics when he's in a crowd. He always sort of takes his time and gets off a good shot.
Jason Hooten said that first month, he said the reason why Filipovic was struggling from the free throw line was conditioning. Remember, he missed a lot of preseason practice time. He wasn't playing much early on in the year, not as many minutes as he's playing now. And as time has gone on, he is better conditioned and the shooting numbers, especially from the free throw line, have gone way up. It's 5 out of 6 today after 7 out of 8 on Thursday from the stripe. Cook continues to guard Newman. Post touch for Bacho. Help there as he spins, and it's poked away by Zoddy Jackson. We talk about the offense for Cook, Russ, but I feel like this has been a breakout week defensively for Christian Cook. He's showing that he can guard one of the best players on the opposing team.
That's right. He did a good job on Lamar Wilkerson on Thursday night. But I can tell you what's happened in Calvin Hester's locker room is let's go inside to Bacho. Let's see if they keep going inside to Bacho here.
Cooper back out for Newman. Chimanga defending Bacho. Newman only has 4 to shoot. Slings a pass, left corner for Abram, who buries the 3. Just the 3rd assist for Newman, who averages a national leading 9.6 helpers per game. A lot of their field goals are set up by Newman, just like that one. Jackson sets up a lot of the Aggies made field goals. He averages 4 helpers a game, but he'll take it himself.
That was Steph Curry style, the sort of one that used to be a big no-no, and Curry has sort of popularized that just one-handed sort of drive to the basket.
When you're a pass-first point guard like Newman is or like Jackson is, the holes are a little bigger for you to score. Bacho on the helper by Newman.
Well, this is where Emmanuel Chimanga has struggled. His help is good, but recovering is a whole other aspect. He's going to have to move faster than that.
Shot selection was really good for Cook in that first half. Only attempted 8 field goals, made 4 of them. Step back, Jackson. Back rim, no good. And it's pulled out by Ree. Hands it off to Newman. Newman speeds in the key. No good. Grab by Bostic.
Well, Aggies got a break there. He turned on the Jets and went right by Cook. I don't think Christian Cook was expecting him to go all the way.
Bostic avoids the ball screen. Picks up his dribble. Pop loose. Who's it last touched by? This is a 50-50 call. It's going to stay Aggie ball.
And you can see the frustration on the face of the Tech players. Even when they display great hustle, they can't seem to get a break.
Bostic will inbound in front of his bench. Filipovic was left open but doesn't shoot it. Aggies will use some clock, under 10 to shoot. Jackson, step back 3. That's good. Zoddy in double figures with a dozen.
And Zoddy looking to pass. No one was open. He might as well shoot it.
5.5 for Zoddy. Has 5 of the Aggie 6. Has both Aggie made field goals in the half.
And it's an interesting move by Jason Hooten. He called on Christian Cook to take over on Lamar Wilkerson the other night.
Another post entry is stolen. Chimanga got it. Bostic in transition. No good. Ripped in by Abram.
No, I was going to say, Adam, that Christian Cook had to guard Wilkerson the other night, but he's been guarding Newman much of the game tonight. A point guard.
You would figure it would be Zoddy defending Newman the entire way. Good box out by Filipovic. Rebound number 7 as he approaches his 4th double-double this year. The curl and the connection for Christian Cook.
Well, and I know we talked about the emotional power of that game where there's so much crossover between Sam Houston and New Mexico State these days. I thought the Aggies might come out a little flat, but that hasn't happened at all.
It was a little bit of a slow start in the first 3 or 4 minutes, but since then, this has been arguably the best game the Aggies have played all year. Played well against New Mexico, but the margin wasn't quite like this as Abram throws in a floater.
And Adam, we've talked about how Bacho looks a little heavy-legged. He played 30 minutes. He led the game in minutes played the other night. He may just be exhausted from his time in El Paso. That's a lot of 30 minutes is a lot of minutes for a 6'11" guy.
Yep. He's not just camping out in the post. I mean, he's always moving and setting ball screens. Floater. This is short for Jackson. Pulls it out to the perimeter, though. Bostic open again. He's missed a couple of threes in the half. Takes this one to the rim. Straight on Harris. Way short. Follows the miss off his foot. And Bostic will reset.
Well, I like that, just bringing it back out and running a little bit of clock off.
Bostic to the rim, bounced off the defender and missed it short. Here comes Abram weaving in transition. Shuffles it off for Newman, back to Abram. His 8th three-point attempt, he's missed 6 of them.
Yeah, Abram just looks a little bit out of sync today as well.
Former high school 4-star, was a top 100 high school recruit, transfer from Georgia Tech. Averaging 13 a game this year, second best on La Tech. Wing to wing for Bostic. Reed defends Carpenter just inside the arc. He's a special talent in offense, isn't he?
Yeah, and just that quick release and the beautiful backspin.
16 for Carpenter. Only had 8 points on Thursday, made a big 3 though, coming out of a timeout with 3 minutes left to give the Aggies the lead for good. Abram pushes it for Green. One left-hander to another. Filipovic rips in his 8th board. Filipovic weaves inside, finishes with the right hand.
But you see how he slows down there, Adam? He looked like he was going as fast as he could, and then he sort of slows down and gets the Euro step in. His timing is really brilliant. He just has a great feel and great sense around the basket.
He always finds a way to get under control. Might seem like he's out of control, then he's under control. Green on the baseline, he operates. Bostic with a steal. Look out, here comes Deontay.
Well, maybe case in point this afternoon's game here at the Pan Am Center.
We will have close eyes on UTEP and Sam Houston later tonight. 7 p.m. tip at the Don Haskins Center.
Look at Jacoby Osborne play defense.
First action for Osborne. 2 freshmen on the floor right now for the Aggies, Osborne and Pickens. Joined by Harris, Carpenter, and Filipovic. A steal. That was forced by Harris. Harris in the open floor. The Euro. Tough finish for Jaden Harris.
Well, that was an interesting move. He went off the right foot, shot with his right hand, going sideways across the lane. Brilliant move by Jaden Harris.
That field goal clip for the Aggies, 56%, 28% for the Bulldogs. Carpenter guards Crawford on the switch. 7th Aggie steal, 0 steals for La Tech. Offensive rebound, Crawford on the miss by Newman out of the corner.
That was the first real mental breakdown for Robert Carpenter there. He's much bigger than Crawford, but just sort of lost his concentration. It was really the first misstep he's made all afternoon.
Drive-in kick for Newman. The 3 is heavy for Rui, and it's off the hand of Filipovic. Bulldogs are getting pretty good looks, Russ. They're just not connecting right now.
Yeah, they're under 20% from the 3 for the afternoon.
A lot of those looks come on drive-in kicks from Newman. He's been able to find Rui and Abram. But right now, Rui 0 for 2. Abram 2 out of 8 from 3. Cooper 1 out of 4. Green 0 for 2. Newman's 0 for 6 from 3. 4 out of 25 from deep for La Tech. Elkinton made a shot earlier and he connects here. So Elkinton's been a nice surprise. He's been a lift off the bench. He has 8.
Yeah, it's a different look for Robert Carpenter, who doesn't have to chase Batcho out to the 3-point line, but he better go find Elkinton.
And helped him reach 1,000 career points going back to his days at St. Edward's, Division II school, on that most recent make. So congrats to Elkinton. Mid-range, Filipovic with the answer, the friendly roll.
Nice pass by Jaden Harris there, perfect timing.
Crawford. Floater no good. Grab by Carpenter. Rebound number 6. Transition, Filipovic. Tells Osborne clear out. Feels like he has a mismatch here. Falls away on Elkinton. Missed it short. Carpenter battling. Newman grabs it. Newman will zip into the forecourt. No numbers. And circle around on the wing. Newman dumps it off. Elkinton again. Do not let him get hot. Do not let him get hot. Elkinton with 2 in a row.
And Carpenter looks a little tired for the first time this afternoon.
That is the 3rd made 3 for Elkinton. Harris, too strong. Weak side rebound for Devin Reed. Elkington came in earlier for Baccio, scored right away. He's in double figures, a team high 11 in limited minutes. He's going to catch and shoot again. Elkington too strong.
Well, Jaden Harris did a good job of recovering quickly there.
Elkington was 15 a game, going back to his days at St. Edwards. Like Russ mentioned, a really good Division II basketball league in the Lone Star. Pickens bounces for Filipovic, who lays it in.
I'm telling you, Adam, Gabe Pickens has crossed a major bridge in his career. He's no longer a freshman. He's playing like an experienced backcourt leader.
Was assist number 2 today for Pickens. He had 4 helpers in just 8 minutes on Thursday. Newman guarded by the much taller Robert Carpenter. Freshman blocker back on the arc. Newman 0 out of 7 from 3. Jason Hooten says, "You got it," to Filipovic. He's going to run the point here. Aggies trying to get organized. Carpenter fakes it. Pickens has the ball. Jason Hooten calls out the play. Filipovic will pop. Extra defender comes. Back on the arc. Wide open Harris. Cleared by the freshman blocker. Under 12 media timeout still has to occur. 8:45 left. So a timeout, next stoppage. Haven't had one in a while. Drive and kick for Newman. Crawford backpedals out to the arc. Elkington is going to post up here. Right-handed hook. He draws a foul from Osborne. It'll be a big one next Saturday. So I would think, I'm just guessing here, but I would think Jason Hooten will probably give his guys a couple of days off. This was a tough week. You don't play again until next Saturday. If you can finish strong the way you're playing right now and you win by 25 or 30, I think he's going to be in a pretty good mood, a generous mood, and they might have a couple of days off, Russ.
That's right. And indicator of, as we see Baccio sort of looking tired on the bench there, we've got Elkington, one of the few bright spots. This is his second free throw of the year. It's it's indicative of how often he's shooting threes, not scoring under the basket so much. But those were his first free throws of the season.
Some three-quarter court pressure by La Tech. The Aggies break it with Sharon Font and Cook. Bostic, tough catch in the corner. Don't see this combination very often. Jackson, Emmanuel Chimanga, Bostic, Cook, and Sharon Font. Zigzagging Jackson. Corner 3 for Cook.
Well, I've been surprised how often Christian Cook has had just so much time to launch his deadly threes.
The shot selection for Cook today has been probably as good as it's ever been as well. He's only needed 10 shots to score 16 points. 6 out of 10 from the field. 4 shoot it well together. In conference play, I don't know who can beat New Mexico State, and they're showing that again today with this 32-point lead on a day where Cook and Carpenter have shot it very well. Shot clock violation for the Bulldogs. I don't think they knew what the timer was at out of the timeout.
No, and it seemed that A.J. Bates, he's just a freshman. That's a freshman mistake. He didn't seem to be aware of the shot clock there.
That is turnover number 12 on La Tech. Remember, they had a season-high 20 Thursday against a UTEP squad that forces the most turnovers around the country.
Yeah, and now we see Louisiana Tech trying a 1-3-1, just trying anything to sort of break this Aggie magic here.
Really good length up top. Bostic down low. Emmanuel Chimanga is hammered on his way up. Pretty fine there by Deontay on the arc.
Yep, nice little ball fake and then dumped it inside to Chimanga.
Russ, one of the things I always notice when opponents switch things up defensively, how prepared New Mexico State is. And that goes back to practice every day with Jason Hooten.
That's right, and also they've got a point guard in Zodie Jackson, a very experienced point guard who sort of knows his way around the block. But there was no sense of panic there as the Aggies saw a 1-3-1, which I don't remember if we've seen a 1-3-1 yet this year.
Chimanga only 6 out of 14 now from the free throw line for the year, but for his career, he is just under 70%. It's a good-looking shot for Emmanuel Chimanga. A lot of really good qualities from him as a 7-footer. He has some guard qualities to him. Newman gets 2 screens. They're trying to find Elkington right now, which is a good idea. He misses short. 3 out of 6 from 3. Sharon Font picked up his dribble, gets it back on the handoff from Shimanga, and then throws it away. Here comes A.J. Bates. Floats it back out for Newman. Newman zips in the key, backdoor, pretty fine for the freshman blocker, who's fouled by Shimanga. Sharon Font still trying to find his way offensively a little bit. His minutes have gone down a lot during the course of the year. Was a starter out of the gate.
Well, somebody lost track of their man and got beat back door. And I don't know if that was Deontay Bostic. Saudi Jackson was thumping his chest as if it was his fault, but I don't think that was his man. Maybe he's just taking a leadership role.
The point guard usually takes the blame, right? You're the leader.
Maybe so. The buck stops here. But I think either Sharon Font or Deontay Bostic sort of lost track of their man, but Saudi Jackson was brave enough to say that was my fault.
A rocker from Little Rock, out of Little Rock Christian. I'm sure Preston Laird probably saw him a couple of times in high school, and Preston was an assistant coach at Little Rock. Jackson bumped just outside midcourt. Team foul number 3 on La Tech, and just like half one, not a lot of fouls called. The officials have really officiated this game at a high level.
That's right. There hadn't been. I don't think they've missed one yet.
No.
I've missed a couple myself, but
it's been physical at times, but they've let them play. They've been consistent. Zone defense again for the Bulldogs. Bostic trying to carve it up. Jackson back to Deontay. Sideline 3 for Cook.
And there's Cook wide open again. It seems it's almost as if Tech is unaware who the Aggies' best shooter is. He's got an awful lot of time there. They're pressuring Bostic, who doesn't shoot many threes, and leaving Cook open.
Elkington misfires. So now he's slowing down a bit after a really good start. Cook 5 out of 6 from 3. Aggies 10 out of 21. 71-36 the score. I don't think anybody saw this kind of a margin coming. Cook trying to break it down. Kick out for Jackson. Back to Cook. Last touch by Christian Cook. It hasn't been as smooth in this half offensively, but it's hard to maintain that pace. But on defense for us, it's been the same. I mean, La Tech, 19 points in half one. They only have 17 in half two. They just have not been able to find any sort of a rhythm today on offense.
No, they'll be lucky to get 50 points today.
Haven't made a field goal in over 5 minutes. The last made field goal was a 3 by Elkington at the 10:47 mark. Handoff goes to Newman. We haven't seen Baccio in forever. Ree penetrates, throws up a floater over Sharon Font.
Pretty good defense by Sharon Font guarding Ree.
Aggies going with Cook, Jackson, Sharon Font, Bostic, and Nate Shimanga. And a big reason why the Aggies' point total has been lower in this half is they've slowed the game down a little bit too. Trying to use some clock. Bostic searches in the key. Bostic a strong finish. Right around 6'8", Devin Ree.
And that's where Deontay Bostic is so effective. He can really get to the basket.
Team foul number 3. Foul on Jackson as he fouls Bates. New Mexico State all week has done a much better job of defending without fouling. They really struggled with that the first 7 or 8 games of the year. Newman defended by Bostic. It's been a tough shooting day for Newman. 2 out of 11 for the field. Hands it off to Blocker. His runner is good. Some more minutes for Blocker. He now has 3 points. We approach the under 4 media. Aggies lead by 33. Sharon Font coming for the ball screen. He'll pop out. Trying to hand it off to Bostic, flips it to him. Ball screen, Nate Chimanga. Bostic, wraparound pass. Houston, Abilene Christian games. Cook finds Pickens in the corner. And the key, layup left short, but Pickens will get free throws.
Another slightly late whistle. I was certain Gabe Pickens got fouled there, and of course it got called. He just keeps improving. I'm delighted to see him playing again here before the end of the game.
Have you watched a lot of UTEP this year?
No. I used to be an expert. I'd be no expert on UTEP.
2 free throws coming up for Pickens. I think Nate Chimanga had his jersey ripped during that play.
Maybe he'll throw it into the stands as a souvenir afterwards.
You know, it still looks a little bit odd when somebody's wearing a number like 19 in basketball or number 7 like blocker. You used to, of course, never see that in collegiate basketball because you couldn't wear that number, but now you can. Kind of like NBA rules now. Elkinton snatches it in. To the rim is Bates. Back on the arc for Devin Reed. Jumper short, but he's fouled going up. So free throws for Reed. And then going forward, Russ, we're going to see how the Bulldogs recover from this week. It was a 10-point loss Thursday. This one is trending towards a 30-plus point loss potentially today. They're going to be home against FIU and Liberty next week. Jesse Bopp, former Aggie assistant, his Panthers of FIU, they're going to be feeling really good going into that road game in Ruston after what they did earlier today against Western Kentucky. In Liberty, you could argue that Liberty played as well as anybody during non-conference play this year.
That's right. Liberty seemed to be the team to beat going into league season.
I am convinced there will not be an easy night in conference play. This one looks easy with the scoreboard, but there was a lot of prep going into it. And you have to factor in the tired legs a little bit more for La Tech because of the travel. Edward Namako just came in for New Mexico State. Jacoby Osborne back in. Xavier Johnson seeing his first action today, the Vegas native. Will Allen returns for La Tech. So Jason Hooten trying to empty his bench about as much as he can, which I'm sure he did not think he would get a chance to do with 3.5 left going into this game. We thought going into it, this would be a game that would come down to the wire, and it has not been. It's been a blowout from really mid to late first half on. Pickens, step back 3. He rims it in. Only his 3rd made 3 all year.
It's showing good confidence there. He missed a couple free throws. You know, he's a 70% free thrower, so he missed a couple free throws a minute ago, but looked fully confident there.
A.J. Bates for Will Allen. Hand off Crawford. Good help from Chimanga. They're going to switch. Pickens defending Allen now. Bates on the bounce. On the arc for Crawford. Hasn't shot many threes this year, only his 6th attempt, but he's 4 out of 6. Pickens, Osborne, Johnson, Namako, and Nate Chimanga. I can confidently say this is the first time all year we've seen this combination here. Chimanga for Osborne. Bounces for Namako on the catch. Can't bank it in. Grabbed by Elkinton. Crawford picks up his dribble. Allen on the arc with under 2 minutes left. The Aggies led by 25 at halftime, and they have stayed on the gas pedal in half 2. Traveling, Paul Bates. Russ, the previous month has been really good for New Mexico State, and the bulk of the games, of course, have been at home. I mean, go back to the UNM win on the road. Great road win. But this is going to be wins in 6 of 7, 5 in a row. Chris Gianz's best teams just progressed and progressed as the year went on. Lou Henson's best teams did that as well, right? I mean, they got better and better as the year went on. Do you feel like Jason's team is doing that right now?
Well, I think so, and I was wondering, you know, why are we playing at Texas and why are we playing at Dayton? But it really, I think it's really toughened the Aggies up.
Backdoor pass. And the foul is called on Johnson before the pass.
Huh.
There was a time during non-conference play when the record didn't look very pretty. The Aggies at one point were well below 500 for this stretch where they're about to win their 6th in their previous 7.
Pickens looks pretty confident there, doesn't he? He just looks very relaxed and like he can make that one all day.
A.J. Bates will shoot the free throws. Two shots coming up for Bates. It's a weird box score today for La Tech. Team leader in scoring is Elkington, who doesn't play a ton, only averages 4 points per game. He has 12. Abram with 10, but he's needed 11 shots, 8 threes attempted to get there. Bacho barely played today. 4 points, 2 rebounds. I think it's pretty clear, Russ, just by judging body language on the bench, he's just not feeling well. It seems like it.
Yeah, and again, the 30 minutes in El Paso might not have helped.
Johnson, a wide open 3. Missed it short. Osborne almost tipped it in. Namako +1. Jacoby Osborne, wow.
I thought he was going to hit his head on the rim there.
Keep that in mind for a future flight for Osborne. Look at this.
Whoa.
And Namako stuck with it. 7 out of 8 this year from the free throw line. He will shoot 1. Cannot complete the three-point play. A minute left. Tough road swing for La Tech. They're going to drop to 0-2 in league play, the preseason favorite. But if you recall a year ago, road wins were hard to come by in Conference USA. Namako with the block.
Well, Namako could be the future center for the Aggies. You know, both the Chimanga brothers are seniors. And Namako showed flashes. And in the fall, I couldn't tell the difference. I couldn't tell who was better between the Chimanga brothers and Namoko. And I think he's got a chance to really help the Aggies.
Before today, the biggest margin of victory in this all-time series was an Aggie win of 25 points, 82-57 back in March of 2012. Right now, the Aggies lead by 32. Blocker in the lane, throws up a shot, pinballs through. He has 5 off the bench. Aggies can dribble it out. Maybe the most impressive win in the Jason Hooten era.
Well, in terms of dominating play, certainly. I'm a little partial to the win up at the pit, but yes, I take your point. A very convincing win for the Aggies.
I wouldn't say the biggest win, but I'd say the most impressive from start to finish. 78-40.